For about 9 years, I've been with On Eagle's Wings and discovering and learning what does that look like to walk with people and to support them, but to do it together.
Ann Zimmerman is spending some time alone this evening in Yellowknife to think about what it means to work together.
I think I get that for the fact that as together Northerners and Southerners work together, I see it's in that process that Jesus is recognized. A big piece of what On Eagle's Wings does is to find ways to empower people to be the leaders that they want to be within their own Christian education or Christian faith community.
Beyond Bible schools, On Eagle's Wings provides leadership training, workshops, and curriculums for Christian leaders in the North. Their work has the support of a variety of church groups and people who know the North best, including Christopher Williams. He is the former Bishop of the Arctic who has lived in Yellowknife for 50 years.
To me, it sort of fits in with all that I've been doing ever since I came north, because the whole purpose of being here, aside from preaching the gospel, which is what we all do, was to create some sort of indigenous ministry here where people would no longer be reliant upon people coming from the south, but they'd be they could do it for themselves and take care of their own affairs. Well, I think the biggest challenge is the fact that until very recently, say the past 20 years, it has never been expected that the people did it for themselves. And so the biggest challenge, I think, is convincing them that they can do it.
Ann is determined to show Aboriginals they can carry on what others started. Still, she knows the painful history she's up against: relocation, residential schools, assimilation.
There have been hurts in the past within the North. Some of the hurts have been imposed on the people by people who look just like me. And much of it has been that connection between two cultures that saw things in very different ways. And that we always must go in with humble and really with an apology at all times.
That's why On Eagle's Wings only goes where they're invited.
The weather's good over there, plus 20.
Today, Ann is set to visit Gameti, an isolated community only accessible by plane in the summer, ice road in the winter. Gameti is home to 250 people and an old friend.
Bernadette is the first woman I ever met in Gameti. Bernadette is a woman who came to know On Eagle's Wings by wanting to send her own children, but wanted to see what these teachers were teaching her kids, and came in and just listened. And by about the third day, she realized she could be doing this.
It's our kids and our grandkids that we're supposed to be teaching. We can't always expect somebody to come from way up north or from United States to come into our community to teach our kids. It's our role to teach our kids, but on the other hand too, we need a little bit push to do that.
Sit down, please. I want you to join us.
Bernadette began teaching Bible school in Gameti about 8 years ago. She is able to translate the Bible from English as she reads into Dogrib, her native tongue. For many of these kids, it's the first time they've heard the gospel in their own language.
I want the kids, not only the Tlinchung kids, but other First Nation, they need to learn their language and their culture before they move on, because nowadays kids are into computers, you know, these videos and all these things, and they don't know their language.
Ann and her team provided Bernadette with encouragement and education. They gave her materials, craft supplies, and a curriculum as a starting point.
People say, we'd like to teach our own kids. So we started writing Sunday school curriculum that would be appropriate and worthwhile for a northerner to teach. Something that would last 30 minutes to 45 minutes without a ton of work to be able to get it going, that people could commit themselves to 4 to 6 weeks for one package.
This ministry also hosts community workshops. Leaders like Martina Norwegian will come to share ideas and equip themselves in children's ministry work.
I think as we talk, if we could be making puppets at the same time, and so that then we're ready to go.
They make the learning fun, and they're making you involved. They involve you. You know, they're just not coming in teaching. You have to take some leadership to move forward with that.
Share with me what you think would be the goal of Sunday school. What would you hope would happen?
Something that's visual, because a lot of times kids are visual, and rather than just reading.
Just listening.
Yeah.
Martina is from the Dene Nation and lives in Fort Simpson. She is a leader in her church at home and a board member of On Eagle's Wings. She provides an Aboriginal perspective, leading others in her community, like Anne has led her.
What she has discovered now is a way to push her people who she's trying to empower to become teachers. So when Martina sits down with me to discover how to teach, what she's doing is not doing it so she can teach, but she's doing it so she can empower the other people within her community.
A lot of it is the lack of resources and how people don't know how to start. They know how to teach, their mothers and that, but they don't know how, where to go and how to teach. And so it's kind of like a guide. It's the curriculum and that is kind of a guide, and you take what you need. It starts with one. And I always say, let it start with me.
No, since in the guy goes on
Martina and Bernadette are lending their voices to the mission of On Eagle's Wings. Today, Anne is there to listen as Bernadette reads the book of John in Dogrib.
The symbolism for me at that moment was Bernadette was reading the scripture in her own words, in her own language, and sharing it with me. And like as if saying, this is my story. This is who I'm connected with, and I'm reading it to you.
Before leaving Gameti, Anne leaves Bernadette with a gift, a children's Bible.
I wrote something here for you, asking you to continue to share the love of Jesus with others. You are the hands and feet of Jesus to so many. Thank you for being a true gift to all the children you have taught with On Eagle's Wings. And may you know that you can continue being that. And hopefully we can do it together.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The end goal of On Eagle's Wings is to leave communities in the hands of leaders like Bernadette and Martina. Anne hopes to see the day when Northerners are preaching the gospel independent from On Eagle's Wings, to see the sun set on her ministry and rise on the north.
I would say the biggest thing I personally have taken away from the north, and every time I leave, is the gift and privilege of being allowed to be here in the first place, and also to be allowed to share with people on an incredibly personal level of Christ's love.
For 100 Huntley Street in Yellowknife, I'm Meagan Kelly.